that's when Laurinaitis kayfabed me, and that was so embarrassing. Just sitting there, and I could because after about 30 minutes, I couldn't get up because I come there to talk to him, but he was just sitting in his office, and Taker was changing in his office at that point. So I was just kind of like sitting outside the hallway, and Ace would come out of his office and not look at me, and Taker was sitting in there kind of slowly changing. And I was just sitting there like, what do I do now? Do I just get up, or do I go in there and bother him again because he told me to wait a minute? And after like 45 minutes or an hour, Carano came over and said, "Oh, why don't you come back later?" And he escorted me out, to my relief.
I got to tell you, man, I think what number of show was this that you were an extra? Was this your first time being an extra, your fifth time being an extra? I think it's a ballsy move as an extra just to go meet with somebody. Like I said earlier, maybe I should have tried it. I never would have even thought about trying to get a meeting like that.
Yeah. I've always been able to embarrass myself to painful degrees to get where I want to go. Joey told me to go see Brawler and cut a promo for him, and I could never cut a promo at any point in time during my stay at OVW. So that's when I got a little camera, and I just set it up during the day when I was at home in between training clients, and I just start cutting a promo, and I cut it over and over and over and over again. And I eventually cut a promo for Brawler, and he said that it was one of the top 3 promos that he'd ever heard in that room. And he put it up there with some pretty big names like Mr. Anderson and a couple other guys. So he said that he was going to get me a job, and he went and told Laurinaitis, and Laurinaitis didn't like that he was taking extras into that promo room and having them do that shit. He didn't like that at all. But I got a meeting with Laurinaitis, and he said, Brawler said you cut one hell of a promo. Why don't you cut that for me? And him and Ty Bailey were in the room, and I was pretty damn nervous. Just where do you want me to look right now?
I got to stop you for 1 second. Was this the same day that you were waiting on him outside the office? Was this all the same day?
No, this was probably this is probably like 6 months later. Enough time. I embarrassed myself with the boss. And then I do a gimmick. I allow them to forget who I am.
Gotcha.
I put on the makeup. I'd be Ali G, and then they forget, and then I can come back and try again.
Sorry to interrupt, man. I just had to know if it was that same.
Yeah, no, it actually took a couple of times. He told me to go to Brawler and cut a promo, and I asked Brawler if I cut a promo. He said, "All right, but this got to you got to knock this out of the park. You got to blow me away. If you want to do it right now, we can do it right now, or you can come back next time. You can prepare." I said, "All right, I'll come back next time." So then like 3 months later, I just practiced for 3 months cutting promos, and came back and he gave me that feedback.
So Johnny Ace wasn't happy really that you were an extra in the promo room, but then you did it.
So he had me cut the promo again in his office, and I was pretty nervous, and I don't know that I nailed it like I did the first time probably, but he faded me pretty good, and he said it was all right, and then he gave me some pointers, and he sent me home. And it was that day that he signed Asher Knight. I don't know if you remember Asher.
I remember that name. Yeah. Was he wasn't OVW.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there long. I think it was OVW. He wasn't around for very long.
I know the name, but I can't remember.
He was very green. But I think he probably had a much better interview than me, because I felt like he couldn't offer anything else that I could offer. So I was pretty pissed off about that. But then I just went back to work and forgot about it because they weren't going to be back in town for another 6 months. So then one day out of the blue, like 5 months later, Ty Bailey calls me up and he says, we were thinking about that promo that you cut in Johnny's office that one day. And I was thinking, you were just thinking about that promo I cut 6 months ago? All right.
Big gold and a billfold, so swole that I can't get the shit closed. So I money fold and rubber band wrap, and when it pops.